Welcome to Slayerfest 98. I'm your host, Ian Carlos Crawford, and joining me, I have Decider.com's Brett White. Hi, Brett.
Hi.
And blogger and PhD candidate, Ashley K. Smalls. Hello, Ashley.
Hi.
Hi. We're here to watch the Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness trailer. I guess we're just going to get into it. We're going to hit play at the same time. I'll do a little countdown. We all ready?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. 3, 2, 1, play.
Every night,
In my dream.
Is this like the house where Kang was? Is that what that's supposed to be?
Oh.
The nightmare begins.
Also, Nightmare is the villain of this, right? Because that's why he said that.
Right.
Or he's supposedly in it. I don't know.
No, I think you're right.
There's also like
Right.
3 or 4 villains in this. I don't
Yeah.
He's gonna be the villain for all the 20 minutes, and then it's just
know. Yeah. Then it's gonna be Wanda, and I'm gonna be angry. Also, is Christine Palmer getting married to someone else?
Yeah, right?
looks like it.
About the
Yeah.
multiverse.
Viz had his theories. He believed it was dangerous.
I love this bull guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was right.
Guys, I'm so hyped for
sorry,
America
Steve.
Chavez because she's my favorite.
I know.
Okay, so
Oh, okay.
Doombots? Dr. Doom in the corner? I don't know.
We should tell him the truth.
Oh my god, I love that the closed captions say mystery voice at Patrick Stewart's voice.
Yes.
I didn't see. This is my 3rd or 4th time watching. The first time I screamed, "Holy shit!"
I gasped and cheered up. I'm like, I don't even love those movies that much, but
And who the fuck is that? That's another thing.
I saw someone say they think it's Baron Mordo, which I guess would make
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
To become a hero.
I also love that shot so much.
I love
do
what
it,
Wanda
I become
says.
the enemy.
Her in Westview.
Yeah, I just was wondering. I'm like, is this gonna be like an alternate version of her, or is this
Right.
maybe this
Oh,
part
yeah,
of her?
that is,
That was a cool shot.
yeah,
Oh,
that thing's
yeah.
there. And also this, like, is that Nightmare? Like, is that,
I
like,
think so.
I think it's supposed to be.
yeah, or, yeah. Oh, it's really creepy. I love that.
Ugh, so good. I am so hyped for this. All right. Ashley, what was your first reaction when you first watched it?
Oh, I don't. What are the words? It's very embarrassing for a communications major to not know what words to say, right? It's like this really sense of like not necessarily like surprise, but like not confirmation either. Like there's things we think are still going to happen, and
Right.
it's like starts to look like it, and then it's also like, I mean, the big thing though was hearing. I mean, can we say it for people
Yeah.
who are, yes, hearing Patrick Stewart's voice was like the big, because if that's what they're revealing, what are they holding on to for the actual, you know?
yeah.
Like, that's crazy. If that's what they're willing to let us know about, I'm like, I don't know if I'm prepared for the actual surprises now.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Brett?
Yeah, because that is the, like, you know, they are pairing what is pretty clearly Patrick Stewart's voice with a shot of a bald man rolling into the camera. But the thing is like, I'm also like, this is this movie studio that edited Pepper Potts out of a frame of Endgame for trailers just to reveal that Pepper Potts was not, they didn't want to reveal that she was at the Avengers compound. This is also the same company that cast Evan Peters as Quicksilver, only to turn him into what Frank Boner was his real name.
Yeah.
So
Boner
part of me
knows.
is just kind of like, it's unquestionably Patrick Stewart. That voiceover might not go with that shot. They could have cast Patrick Stewart as like alternate reality Reed Richards or something. Like,
Oh my god, I'd be
like,
so mad.
that, but that's just, it's just because I cannot imagine, like you said, like I can't imagine them giving that away in the second trailer, essentially, if you're counting the Spider-Man post credits. Like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine them give also the same. Well, yeah, we'll focus on Xavier, right? Because there's so much to talk about before I start jumping around. But it does seem I could see it being, it does really make sense if it's like a multiversal Illuminati, and that is the Fox Professor X is the representative of that. Because please, dear God, recast all those roles and kill all of that continuity. We need to start fresh, dear God.
I think what's so messed up with Fox is that there are some really perfectly casted characters.
Yeah.
But literally everything else sucks.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
Yeah.
you have this really interesting paradigm of like, okay, we want to actually maybe use these talented people, but still act like everything that happened in these movies never did.
Yeah.
And so it's like, how do you do that necessarily? Like, I think Evan Peters for Quicksilver is heavily casted. I think Michael Fassbender's young Magneto is perfectly casted.
The casting, I rarely was angry at the casting. Like, I don't like Nicholas Hoult as Beast.
I don't like Nicholas Hoult as Beast. I also didn't really like. I'm not like, we can recast Storm. I do love Halle Berry, but like we need a. So but it's like.
Yeah.
But
like,
it's like
James Marsden Cyclops is fun. Ty Sheridan Cyclops is fun. Sophie Turner, great.
Yeah, even
like,
Famke as the
I
first
love
Phoenix.
it. Yeah.
Loved Famke. Like, it's just like, it's so peculiar because like, damn, how did you mess this up so bad with so many people who could work with so little?
Even like Anna Paquin as Rogue is like, oh, but then when you hear her talk about Rogue, she's like, I just wanted to fly and punch things. And I'm just like, oh, I know, baby. I wish you could have.
I wish. It's like, damn, they didn't let you do nothing. Matter of fact, they even took your powers at one point. Literally, the most that she ever uses her powers is a deleted scene that they sometimes put in like the extended cuts when they show it. That's crazy. They hated you. That's so crazy.
It's like they cast her because they wanted to punish her somehow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like Rogue, the one who oh my God.
And like, especially at the time, Anna Paquin was like a big star.
Star.
Yeah, Oscar-winning stuff. Like, part of the whole like superhero movies are serious now. We've got multiple Oscar winners in this cast or whatever.
But like,
right?
we're not gonna let them do shit.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's my thing is like, and we knew this really coming out of No Way Home of like the possibilities, and it's like, if they weren't planning it before, the obvious crazy reaction after us, the nostalgia was going to have them sitting back thinking, all right, who else do they really love that we can bring back here? Yeah. Clearly this is working. But to Spider-Man's credit, it works because like, it's, for one, at least it's way less people. Like, it's just the two. Like, we are okay with attaching ourselves to them. Next to that, it's like, they are so different as Spider-Man. And then it's like, how do you basically bring in people, tear apart the story, make it make sense with the new story? It's a bit of I do just love that it finally came time to get Charles, and their immediate reaction was like, y'all need to call Sir Patrick Stewart, because if not, there's going to be riots. We'll have to figure out what to do. We'll figure out what to do later.
James McAvoy in a ball cap ain't cutting it anymore.
They were like, please call him. Tell him there's no action. He can just sit.
Yeah,
we'll figure out.
He can do it via Zoom. I don't know.
Exactly. Just understand, if we just randomly bring someone else in and start calling him Charles, these nerds will absolutely take over the building. Please call him. And
I do think Patrick Stewart is like one of the best cast members, like, especially at the time. Like, I don't know, Wizard Magazine used to do back in the day, like fan
casting call.
Yeah. And I remember them,
Jonathan Brandis as Cannonball.
They had like, I always think of Tia Carrera as Psylocke, right? Because that was in that. And actually someone posted that on Instagram today. And I was thinking about how weird it was. They dream cast Patrick Stewart as Professor X. And then like a few years later, he was Professor X.
Yeah, he was always the only choice. Like,
yeah. So I'm glad that they're bringing him back. And like, shit, I gotta say, it's so wild. So Slayerfest 98's Instagram Discover, because like we cover all the Marvel shit. I mean, you both are always on for it. A lot of it's Marvel, like it's mostly Marvel, and usually it's spoilers. Like, I will say No Way Home was spoiled for me in the like Insta like Explore page, but it wasn't like, it was like, I kind of knew that was happening. Like the Matt Murdock thing, okay, that was spoiled, but like, that's not really that. This was spoiled like months ago, and I really thought it was me. I was like, that's bullshit. There's no way that's true. Like, I really shrugged it off as like, I told coworkers, oh yeah, there's all these fake spoilers in my Into Discover. And I said, Patrick Stewart coming back as Professor Xavier was one of the fake spoilers that I saw. So like, I kind of inadvertently spoiled it for a bunch of coworkers, but I was thinking it was bullshit.
I mean, there was
where I would
rumors-
think that, right? Like,
Yeah, no, there were rumors that someone from the Fox universe was coming in, and I did see that there was going to be more than one. So now that one has been confirmed, so I keep saying this is who they're showing. That means they must be hiding some stuff. But I was really banking on Magneto, given Magneto's connection to the Scarlet Witch, which I know has been changed left, right.
I would love it if the movie settled that right, because the movies fucked it up to begin with, and if they set it right, of like, no, it's my daughter, and it's so great.
I mean, even if they go like an adopted daughter, I mean, I guess my thing with it is like they kind of messed it up already with the whole fake Pietro thing in WandaVision, and this is what really pissed me off with it. And it pissed me off even further after No Way Home, and really even Loki, because I'm like, so you had you had some possibilities here to make this a thing, even if you didn't want to make a connection between this Peter and Wanda yet. You had a way here to really make this a thing, and you gave us a boner joke. That's crazy. But like that's crazy.
It really is.
Like I still very much, it's just because, especially for the route Wanda's going down, if we know one person who's very much, if you got the power, the hell you playing nice for, that's 100% Magneto.
Yeah.
And if they are able to make some sense of this Ralph Boner, and he's not really Ralph Boner, but let's say, he's just, he bumped his head or some shit. I don't know.
Right.
Well, sitcom,
Even that will make more sense than what they did. But if he just so happens to remember that he has a dad out there and is like, Dad, I think we got a sister. I mean, this
So
his thing is literally called Brotherhood of Mutants. He kind of sees them as his family. I'm not saying you got to magically make them blood related, but if Wanda knows there's a bunch of people out there with power who is like, nah, you don't got to play no damn hero. We don't like the heroes anyways. I feel like,
yeah.
But that's who I was banking on showing up.
I how about you, Brett?
No, I mean, the other big thing is that flying flaming character that gets way more of a like glory shot, like a hero shot in the trailer than Professor X's like side of his head, which is like, some people are, of course, it's the Human Torch. It's like, I mean, like it might be, but also, again, I'm not.
Well, they did a close up, and it looks like a Black woman.
Yeah, well, I was thinking like it's like it would make sense if it is Monica, or if it is, and also the fact that the character's fighting Wanda, because fire, and she's fighting back. Also, like it could be like Barrymorto with a spell, but then also people looks like a Nova. I'm just like, I cannot fathom. That's the other thing where like fan speculation also has to work within storytelling bounds. Right. And it's like,
doesn't always.
I really do not think that even like that you can't just bring in like a random ass Nova. Like,
we haven't seen or heard of them since like,
exactly.
Especially if you're like a big one like Richard Rider, who people have been wanting for so long. You're not just going to toss him in as, although I will say it will be hilarious if it is Human Torch and it is played by Chris Evans.
That would be great. Here for it.
Well, I was thinking it could be Michael B. Jordan's Human Torch.
But
I know.
But if that's the case, Wanda, kill him. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do, please. I beg of you.
Well, that was another where he was well cast because Michael B. Jordan is hot and charming, but then that movie was.
It was so bad. It was so bad. It scared me. It wasn't supposed to be a horror movie, but I had nightmares.
So bad. So wait. I'm trying to decide, should I say some of the other rumors I have seen? There's one that I'm positive has to be fake, but now I'm like, maybe it's not.
Oh, I don't. Well,
everything is possible here because they really, as much as we saw, they haven't really shown us much, and that's what's crazy to me.
Like, think of Spider-Man Far From Home, or No Way Home. We did a trailer react to that, Ashley, and there was nothing of the last 40 minutes of that movie were not
or longer. Like the entire second half of that movie was out of any promotion.
It was literally like the first 30 minutes that were the promo, and that was it.
Yeah.
And so I have heard a rumor that, so I kept seeing something about Illuminati. I heard a rumor that 2 big actors were recast to play alternate universe versions of 2 actors that are in the Illuminati.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
one of them has to be fake, but I don't want to say in case it is.
No, wait. So wait, they were recast. Like
Like,
what does
there-
that mean?
I
Like,
think I know the rumor you're talking about.
okay, so you've heard it, like, and it's a ridiculously famous person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, like,
I've
what is-
repeatedly seen it. So
Is
there is
Tom Cruise playing Reed Richards or what?
Iron Man.
Iron
Oh,
Man.
oh God.
Oh, you were
Well,
just you were just saying that?
that was the 90s, right? Like, wasn't he somewhat attached to
and
that?
that's why, yeah, and they keep throwing it out that they're gonna have him come in as he was, since he was originally attached to the project and the role, and have him play an alternate version of Iron Man. I mean, that's definitely Illuminati room, and it makes sense in terms of them bringing in Patrick Stewart, and what they'll have him do is being on Illuminati. We know Strange's connection to Illuminati in the comics, and one of the members of the Illuminati is Tony Stark. For anyone who's listening in and you only know this thing by MCU and not the comics, basically just Google Illuminati and you'll see what it is.
Marvel Illuminati.
Right.
Marvel Illuminati, yeah. If you just Google Illuminati, you'll see a whole bunch of stuff about probably Beyonce, Jay-Z, and a whole bunch of celebrities. But Google Marvel
Triangles with
Illuminati.
eyes.
Marvel's Illuminati, not Beyonce's Illuminati.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Although could be, but cast Beyonce
mean,
as the Storm on the
they keep throwing it out there. I don't know. Maybe this has been the pitch that's been getting made all these years. Maybe someone got some lost in translation.
What I realize, and I think about this all the time, and I tweeted it like the other night, of like, every time I read a comic now that has Namor in it, it just highlights how literally no one in the MCU has that energy or brings that energy, and it is such a needed and essential energy that really, like, I don't know, for not being that popular of a character, he is such a foundational force in the Marvel Comics universe. And just like, could we get Namor in this movie on the Illuminati as like a prequel
that's personally my bet in terms of who we see. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if we get him here, or do we get him in Black Panther 2 first, and then he gets brought in to join the Illuminati. That's my thing, but it's just like, he is very much, he's been connected to the Illuminati in the comics, and we do know he's been casted in MCU.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
it's
he
just
has?
like,
Wait,
well,
is that a rumor?
He's supposed to be
In
I
Black
guess
Panther
technically
2,
they didn't
right?
say what his role is, but they keep saying that Namor is going to be in Black Panther 2.
Yeah, that makes the most sense for that, like where that would go.
Yeah, where that
They have
movie is
such-
going.
Yeah.
And wait, so in the comics, does Namor now I can't remember, because I read the beginning of Illuminati, but I never like finished it. Is it Namor and Black Panther that like fucking hate each other?
Oh yeah. For
And
and it's actually it's a great feud.
Doesn't Black Panther like kill him at one point, or is it the opposite? Like one of them like uses a weapon to like fake kill him.
Well, but they also throw planets at each other every now and then. Like, they're
Because that is true enemy. If you think about it, that's like, some of us, we throw rockets, but if you really hate somebody, you got to make it personal and just go, which one of them? Just
That's because they kept destroying, Namor flooded Wakanda in one of the Avengers versus X-Men, maybe. I can't but then like Black Panther then did something equally bad to Atlanta. Like they just really hate each other.
Well, I do think Namor brings an energy that Marvel, like your problem with Circe that I agreed with, Brett. Like, she's actually like this confident, like socialite, like very, and I feel like Namor almost has the like very fuckable energy, and I like knows it.
Yeah,
like, I know you want to.
I would say,
me,
like,
I feel like Marvel's afraid of that kind of energy.
If people who people aren't familiar with the comics, I would maybe describe Namor as like if whenever like Robert Downey Jr. spoke, you 100% believed everything he said and were terrified of everything he said, but then also was the sexiest motherfucker on the planet. And you like, because Namor is just that energy of just like, I'm terrified of him. I also like, I can't stop looking at him. Also,
I loved him.
He might kill us all, or he might save us all, and just don't get in his way.
And I loved him and Emma Frost together. Like they have like a very good dynamic when he was on X-Men, and like, both of them have that same energy of like, oh, please. Like, they're not bothered by you, or they hate you, but like, you're just annoying. and like they know they're smarter, they know they're hotter, like, and that's the energy. I like that energy, and I would like that, because you're right, it almost was Iron Man, but it's like not quite Iron Man's energy, right?
Well,
Like,
also people can knock Iron Man down a peg. Like Steve Rogers can sometimes put him in his place.
right,
You know,
yeah.
no one can put Namor in his place. Literally, like, it's impossible.
So wait, I gotta ask, Ashley, you go first. What would be your dream? If we're saying that it's Illuminati, what would be your dream for this Illuminati in Multiverse of Madness?
Well, definitely need more. I think I would love if this is going to be his first appearance, so that we're not just meeting him for the first time in Wakanda Forever. I think that would be a really great way for people to understand who the Wakandans would be dealing with.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm here for them bringing in Black Bolt if they want to. I mean, that's at least in a way, even though he's not like the bigger play, not comics outside, like I'm talking about in terms of the movie, I can understand why people are excited for him, but like that would be one of the safest ways to just instantly recast, because we don't need to go through the Inhumans show. You know, no one is attached to that at all.
And he can also wear a mask, so like it's like you're fine
if they want to. Exactly.
But also Anson Mount is great, and he's getting his, you know, right now with his own Star Trek show. So
wait, who was it that played him?
Anson Mount, the Captain Pike on the Paramount Plus Star Trek show.
I didn't realize that he had a Star Trek. Well, and like, you know, fine, if they want to, even if they wanted to keep him, sure, that's the same. But like,
I think, you know, hey, it's new writing and it's better people to work with. I mean, you know what? Even though I personally would not care if they do recast,
please,
as we have seen with Andrew Garfield. I mean, that's someone I would have fought against, obviously, but like, Andrew Garfield was an actor who was always great in the role. He just did not, we just can't say the same for everyone else around him. And we see how instantly that changed when he got a much better team. So who knows how great someone is able to be. I mean, I do want Tony Stark just because it feels weird to not have Illuminati without him. Mm-hmm. But I don't think I can stomach seeing anyone else but Robert Downey Jr., especially such a heavy hitter. If that's what they were, if those rumors out there are true, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know. But yeah, I guess, I mean, we know Professor X is there, so, and Doctor Strange is just going to make the next collective move. So, I mean, for right now, if we were able to just get those, I think I'm chill.
How about you, Brett? What would be your?
I mean, I think like, well, see, I think you either get Doctor Doom or Reed Richards. I think having both of them would be too much and wild. I think Doom is more interesting, especially if it really does look like there's a figure with a hood shape, or like a really nice bob. So maybe it's Emma. Like, I don't know. I also see. I'm trying to think of like who the beloved big. If the gag of this is like it's all actors we know or actors who are rumored to play X but never actually did, then it's like, you know, but also it's like Nick Cage is Ghost Rider. It's like, no, that ain't, no one cares. And also he's not Illuminati level. But also the actors they've cast to play Doctor Doom, but he's also fully masked. So just like recast Matt.
I mean, to be fair, Julian McMahon I thought was great. The movie, unfortunately, well, the movies were awful for the time, but I did love Julian McMahon as Dr. Doom.
I listen, hands up, I actually kind of like those. I think they're fun. I think they're not
fun.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Watching them now that superhero movies have actually figured out how to like go, like they're now fun again. Like at that time, it was felt very precarious. Like you don't make too many jokes because they might take these away. I think like you need a mutant, which would be like a Beast, a Doctor Doom, a Namor. We need some fucking women. That's always the problem.
Yeah,
bring in Medusa. I like Medusa.
I was gonna say bring in Medusa. I prefer Medusa over Black Bolt because
I still haven't watched Eternals, but would Angelina Jolie or like would that energy match? Like honestly, I feel like a 1,000-year-old super powerful being should be on an Illuminati.
It would almost make sense if Salma Hayek's character was, but I don't know how that would work, right, Ashley? I did
alternate reunion.
She would just make more sense, like in that, like the team that we met. Her character would make the most sense, but I don't know how they would like fudge that, right?
Because I mean, Thena, I don't know how Thena's character would work, unfortunately, due to the fact that she still technically has that got what the name of it is, but she's not always lucid. So I don't know how, not that you can't be, but I don't know if
and I mean they could just be like, oh, when she's there she's loose, you know what I mean, like
I mean, but she does seem more, her character was always very more focused on war and less
fighting.
talking.
So
I don't see So like, but as you said, Salma Hayek's character would have 100% been the one to definitely make sense to be on it, but considering the events of the movie.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool if they brought like Rene Russo in as an alternate Frigga, like the All Mother or something. Like, give her, because that's a big name and a character that we didn't see enough of.
You know what? That's what I was thinking too. We could still like get actors that have played these characters in the MCU just playing different. Because like in Loki, even though it's like you don't always have to look like the person, you still sometimes, right? Like President Loki,
because like President Loki did, and well, see, that's the other thing is like, you know, Captain America also is a big part of the Illuminati, and I don't really. That's the thing is like, is Red Brown still alive? The guy who played Captain America in the late 70s? Like, do you go that route? Like,
wasn't J.D. Salinger's? J.D. Salinger's
Captain
son
America
played
movie.
him in a different movie, didn't he?
And there was a Captain America movie in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Which also, that is so deep cut. They don't need to. Matt
I feel like if they were going to do that, it would have to be something with some nostalgia, like some real like attachment, like, oh yeah, that thing sucked, but like we did really enjoy it. Like
Redford, bring Robert Redford in as, but then it's like weird, like in an alternate reality, Alexander Pierce is Steve Rogers, but I don't know.
I think I would be, for me, Professor X, Doctor Doom, Medusa, and I don't know who else. I'm trying to think of like, I like your idea of Frigga. I kind of like the idea of Salma Hayek because I do think we should have one person that is of this universe.
You could even bring in like a Thanos or a Star Fox.
Well, so also the other thing that I still didn't see in the trailer, but someone, my friend Eric, sent me a message. Was like, oh, did you see this? When the glass is shattering, there are images in every piece of the glass, and one of them is clearly Captain Carter's shield.
Yeah.
So like, put her on. I'd be okay with that.
Oh yeah, if she's there in the Captain America spot, that would be fucking great.
Right? And like, Haley Atwell seems like she's always down.
Oh yeah, she loves this. Other Star Spangled Heroes, America Chavez.
I mean, I got the Young Avengers on my wall. Like, Young Avengers has been my favorite. Like, I loved. It's so weird that like that first run was like my favorite at the time, and like it kept getting better. I don't understand why it's a comic that like comes in print for like a year and then falls out, and like they don't publish anything for like 10 years again. But that run, they're like
the Fiona Apple of
really
Marvel Comics.
I don't understand. But the Karen Gillan and Jamie McKelvey run is like one of my favorite comic book runs.
Yeah.
And I will say my critique of it is it's a little bit nonsense, but it is so well done that like it doesn't, like the plot kind of gets a little convoluted and you don't really know what's going on towards the end, but it's a fun ride, so it doesn't matter. So I'm very excited to see her from the Babysitter's Club. To see her. I have her action figure already. her and Wong, they're the only ones I have so far. But
there's an alternate future. There's an alternate version of Wiccan who becomes the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah.
And I think that would be interesting if I was to just throw one more in just to spice it up a little bit and make it relevant to Wanda.
And that way Wanda could be like, oh, that's my son. Fuck.
I know. I really do think that this movie is going to end with Tommy and Billy
grown up.
Yes.
Like older. I don't want to say grown up. Yeah. Enough. Yeah.
Because I mean, like it really, like her saying, when you break the rules, you're a hero, but when I'm a villain or whatever, it seems very much like, okay, cool. I'm going to now use this magic to bring my children back.
we know it's the only thing she would go that route for. That's kind of what makes, I mean, I know it doesn't make her complex to some people out there. They're just like, no, she's evil. I get it. Okay. You've made your point. I don't care. But
we don't care.
Like this isn't someone who is just like, I want to watch the world burn, Joker era. It's like, look, if I can get my husband and my kids, I'd be happy to help you all do all the great things you want to do. Just let me get my kids, at least the kids. I'll let you have the Android. How's that?
Because Tony Stark didn't reset the 5 years where everything went to hell because he had his daughter, and no one really gave him a hard time about that. They were kind of like, okay.
I just do love that we get Wanda explicitly saying like, what the fuck?
Very on board. I love her so much, and I'm so happy. It's really cool that we have WandaVision that really took this character. Like if you're going from Endgame to this, you're like, what the fuck? Like, but then we had so much characters, so much powerful, resonant, perfect characterization that now the movies can really capitalize on. Like, it's just showing why this Disney Plus experiment's really interesting and really cool.
I mean, even when you think about how Loki may not play into this, like, will we see someone, will, you know, I mean, even the idea of variants was introduced through Loki. And it's like, are we going to see someone coming in to snip timelines? I mean, I think the main reason why we haven't seen that, you know, a la No Way Home, is that the whole TVA is kind of changed now that Kang is technically in charge somewhere over there. But, you know, is it going to be Loki himself? Like, look, y'all doing some shit, and I'm telling you right now, we got bigger things to fry. I don't know why y'all fighting each other. There's this crazy man on his way. Y'all need to just everybody kiss and make up. Because but it'll be interesting, because those were rumors as well. Someone saw like a TVA door pop up, and I'm not saying it will, because I don't want nobody coming after me and saying you lied, but I'm just putting that idea out there that we do know that there is technically an agency dedicated to this, though their motives may be completely different, because there is technically someone new in charge.
Right. Yeah.
It just because my brain likes organizing things, like Loki created the multiverse by, like, they're the ones that stopped the whole sacred time. Like, that is that. And then in No Way Home, Strange is the one that then opened the door to the multiverse that now exists because of Loki. It was kind of, I'm trying to like do the like no prizing in my head of
because like, so Wanda actually, like, everyone was like, oh, Wanda, but Wanda had nothing to do with it, right?
Yeah, she technically didn't. She technically created a world within the world.
Yeah, she just like changed a whole bunch of molecules.
Yeah, that didn't have anything to do with
because
the other timelines.
Because it wasn't House of M.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is what everyone was just like, oh, it's probably going to be based on House of M. You should really read House of M.
It was not.
No, it was not at all.
But what we're seeing though now actually mirrors it. Like, oh, you're gonna see House of M now.
Yeah. Oh God.
But like, and that's kind of it, is that she wasn't playing with the timeline, but it sort of looks like more of a like, well, since you bitches opened it up anyways.
It's like I took
my kids real
small
quick.
town. I took one small town in New Jersey, and Doctor Strange is over here just completely cracking all of reality.
Right? Like, let me get this straight. Peter can have 2 more Peters, but I can't get my sons. For real?
Right, like, what the fuck? And like, I love that we see her in fucking Westview, like that.
Yeah, that
like
that
how
house.
long?
Seeing that house.
Right, like they've been billing, you know, when they first started these shows, oh, it's all connected, and it was always like very barely connected, like connected by like a tiny.
That was Jeff Loeb wanting to hang out with the big boys. It's like, it's all connected. They pay attention to us, don't they?
And like they paid attention to them for like blip in season 1 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but it was more the show paying attention to them.
We will loan you
yeah,
Jamie Alexander and Kobe Smulders.
That is exactly what happened.
And like, but the idea that like, oh, she's gonna go to Westview in this, like completely, like, then you can't pretend there's not a right. It's not like they're clearly not ignoring them. And that's like so fun to me, because like, you know, we're all like big comic nerds here. And like, I know people, I've seen there's been a lot of talk about like continuity and how people think that weighs down, but like, we've all read comics, like it doesn't weigh it down. And sometimes you just ignore some of it, right? Like,
that's the, well, and that's the difference of like, this is a whole other, television has become so heavily serialized that now people, I mean, we were talking about this on the Boba Fett thing that I said like, back in the day, like my first episode of Buffy was School Hard. You know, like it was just on the WGN affiliate, and I just put it on and I started watching it. I didn't see season 1. Other episodes of Buffy I didn't catch till it went on FX. But like nowadays, everyone is so into like completist, like, I need to start at the beginning. I gotta start at episode 1 for everything. And when it's kind of like, I don't know, I should just start watching Succession next season. Haven't seen season 1 through 3. I should just jump right in.
Just jump in.
But yeah, I can see where like that mentality is like looking at the MCU and just like, but I think the MCU does a really great job of really distilling all the characters down to like getting you what you need to know. And the actors are so good at like, you know who Doctor Strange is within, like, you know who Wong is, you know what their dynamic is, even if you don't, you know. Like have never seen them before. Like,
I mean, I bring up my mom all the time. My mom loves this shit. My mom can't remember. Buffy is my mom's favorite show. When we watch it for the Patreon, she's like, who's that? And I'm like, Mom, you watched the show. You love this show. And like, but like, it's enough that like someone like her could be like, okay, yeah, that's Doctor Strange, that's Captain America, got it. Like, we're good. And yeah, I don't think the continuity hurts it, but I also like, I mean, this is always my like, this was my critique of the Halloween requel, where it was like, only the first movie happened, nothing else. It's like, you can still say that, like, you don't have to explicitly say it didn't happen, but you don't have to acknowledge it. Just make it all happened. All right, cool. We're gonna keep going. Like,
Yeah.
and like, that's what comic books do, right? Like, sometimes they won't acknowledge the one thing that maybe was stupid or like that no one liked, and they'll just keep moving. Like, you don't have to like,
Until it makes for a good
say,
joke, and then
Right.
make the joke. Yeah.
you don't have to explicitly be like, wow, good thing nothing happened these last 2 years. Like, I don't know. I hate that shit.
I think, my big thing though, as you like kind of allude to, is just that it does start, and I know there are going to be people who are going to be like, I don't know what the hell she's talking about. This don't feel nothing like a comic book. But I really do. It's like everything started to feel, not everything, but like so much of this would feel, separate. And I get that on some level that was what it's supposed to be. So if you just like Thor and only want to see his movies, then that's what you do. If you only wanted to see the movies where they come together, that's what you did. And now it's really starting to feel like, like in the comics, like you can have one panel about this character and it won't have anything to do with that comic, but they'll somehow allude to it in the next comic about that character. And like, I know there are people out there who didn't watch WandaVision. I don't know how you avoided the internet or dealt with the internet in any way, because that was my life for several months. But like, this manner of, we watched these several episodes and it's like, it's sort of, it is basically to be continued. And even though this is Doctor Strange's movie, it's like, what route is Wanda now going to take here? It's like,
yeah. Well, and it's starting something with America Chavez, because like this is now this could be seen as a prequel to the eventual Young Avengers, show or movie that they are definitely building towards, because they've introduced all of them in the past
basically
year.
At this point. Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Patriot, Kate Bishop, Billy, Teddy.
And
no,
like,
we haven't. Teddy's the only one.
Yeah, Teddy, we haven't, but I assume we'll be meeting him in Secret Invasion.
Yes,
Yeah, which is getting filmed right now. So it looks like he'll be the last one.
Ben Mendelsohn, hopefully.
Well, and like,
Ben Mendelsohn playing Teddy.
throw Ironheart and Ms. Marvel on there too, and I'll be like, yeah, great, throw them on the team.
Yeah, I think that's one of those, like, we may see whatchamacallit in Secret Invasion, but like Ironheart was announced so long ago, so even though we haven't seen anything,
right,
we just know. And
she's in Black Panther.
Yeah, I was just about to say, we do technically see her, though I'm like, not like, there's a comic where she's actually in Wakanda, and I'm just not gonna get too excited that we'll actually see her, because I believe Armor Wars is when she's going to get the actual suit, but we'll be introduced to her as the genius that she is.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It'll probably be like a Dane Whitman. He's not like that yet.
Exactly. Well, hopefully not completely like that, because that was they shouldn't.
I'm gonna watch Eternals at some point. I'm gonna get to it.
It's on Disney Plus now.
I know. It's just me and my husband. That's where we are in our watching everything Marvel thing.
Yeah. See. No, earlier we weren't sure if you and I had did a thing yet, and we definitely have, because I remember you hadn't reached Eternals yet. Exactly. Yeah,
still, I'll get to it eventually.
I mean, don't rush yourself. It's not something you gotta run to. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Ooh, on TikTok, they were so mad at me and Ashley, because my editor Ashley does like the clips for TikTok of like our recording and puts them up, and like, it was a clip of me and Ashley being like, yeah, they just didn't really quite. And like, every comment was like, have these two ever read a comic book? Have they ever watched a Marvel movie? And it's like, no, you're right. We've never.
No idea what I'm going to do for my dissertation. The whole thing is based on comics.
No, it's just like, this entire room is my big flex of, here's 5,000. This is what 5,000 comics looks like. TikTokers or whatever.
Like, I'm just like, you're right. No, we've never watched anything.
Never seen one before. No,
we just did a recording on this movie that we just decided to do.
Everybody looked hot. That was enough for us.
Yeah.
I've moved apartments so many times, and I brought all these comics to every single apartment.
It was just decoration. I didn't know you were supposed to read them.
Yeah. What are the pictures? I don't know. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I want everyone to know the trailer came out. Ashley, you tweeted this afternoon, and I was like, wait a minute, there's a new one coming out. And you were like, well, something.
Because you know how Marvel does. It's like, and I'm also very much like because I've been in those shoes where it's like someone says that something's coming and then it doesn't, and I remember who the person is, so I know who to
Don't trust.
send. Exactly. Don't trust this person. This is a liar. A liar lives in this house. So that's why I always do a disclaimer. Like, look, there are people saying things, but it didn't come from me. So if it doesn't happen, this is who you go yell at, not me. But it did happen. So shout out to Big Screen Leaks. They you know.
Well,
Also the Moon Knight TV spot also dropped. It looks. I'm very excited for that.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to
Also
watch
Oscar
it.
Isaac.
I'm gonna have to watch it after
I'm
this.
excited for Marvel to get into werewolves and vampires. Really excited.
Like
for
weird
that.
shit. Yes.
Really.
Moon Knight is a character that like I only ever read when he was. This is a very
In
obscure
other
reference.
people's stuff.
Yeah, like, but there was a team called Marvel Knights that was like a very like
Yes.
short-lived
Oh, that
team.
comic is bizarre.
Yeah.
I always loved anything.
Well, it was
that
all the
like,
weirdos.
Yes,
It was
I loved
Shang-Chi, Black Widow,
Cloak and
Daredevil.
Dagger.
Yeah.
I loved a team of B C-listers. That was like, I don't know why, but like that was always my shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, they're like the characters that don't normally get to face front. Let me read that book. And I love, like, I specifically remember Moon Knight owning a building in Midtown. And there's like an issue where it's blowing up and they're falling through each floor. And it's like, that's the issue, is like them falling.
That sounds great.
And it was so weird. And I thought it was so cool. And like, I don't know, that's the only thing I know about Moon Knight. I never read any of his comics, but
He's
I'm
a
very
weirdo.
excited for this.
Yeah, get ready.
I hope you're both ready to come on and talk about it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm doing my research.
But yes,
I'm not
I
doing any
literally,
research.
I
He's
text
fine.
Ashley, I DM Brett, and I was like, you guys want to do a trailer reaction? And both of them were like, yeah, sure.
I'm not watching the Super Bowl. That is for sure.
Yeah,
So
like
I
what, you want me
appreciate
you wanted me to watch sports? You know how much time we have till the halftime?
Well, I don't know. Maybe one of you was like at a party or something. I don't know.
In this economy.
All right, guys. Well, we will see you next time. And Ashley and Brett, thank you so much for doing this. Bye, guys.
Thanks.